I remember when I was in APC, I was attacked by members of PDP. When I came to PDP, APC people attacked me. Labour attacked me because they thought I was going to go to Labour.
You don't ask him to negotiate under gunpoint.
If you listen to the president during the inauguration at Eagle Square, he said that one of the hallmark of this administration is going to be dialogue, is going to be consultation, and that that this will be the hallmark, that they are not going to lord it over us, trying to paraphrase what he said, and not to be a dictator. So if you read it, it is clearly written there. And what has happened in terms of, as at today, has not shown what was written in his address.
If you would ask me, I will tell you Nigeria is graced with two initial issues now. I wouldn't call them administrative bottlenecks, rather. I would call them issues, well, let's say political issues hinging on the welfare of the citizens of the country. These issues are just termed as two, yes, for now. We could say the ongoing Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal, and then finally the recent fuel subsidy removal, okay, and the discontinuation of the payment of petroleum subsidy over time. My name is Angelo. Welcome to Nation's Voice Tower. Daniel Buala, a member of the Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Council, who is also a legal practitioner, has been dragged in the mud over time by members of his party, the People's Democratic Party, for allegedly sending congratulatory messages to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, and his vice, Senator Kashim Shettima. Now, these messages have drawn some actual criticisms from members of the APC, where he camped before now, and then members of the People's Democratic Party, where he now pitches his tent with. Before going further with this particular update, I would give you a glimpse of this particular write-up, so you could understand how robust and how enormous this particular message, congratulatory message, was from Daniel Buala to Asiwaju.
May I congratulate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, official ABAT, and Kashim Shettima at Kashim SM for taking the oath of office and allegiance as the 16th President and Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to defend the Constitution and administer the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I pray that God Almighty give you both the wisdom and courage to govern this great nation with honesty, sincerity, and integrity. My best wishes, politics aside.
All right, if you ask me, I will tell you that was just a congratulatory message there. Of course, he ended it with politics aside, okay? Politics aside. And the issue here is now, this message was sent in his official Twitter handle, okay? And it has since gone viral, okay? Due to what is believed to be a sort of come take me plea by Daniel Buala. All right, now the truth remains that this particular message has sparked lots of reactions, making the rounds on Twitter, where he posted this congratulatory message. People think it's a sort of come take me plea, okay, come and give me an appointment, and come and recognize with me, and so on. But in the wake of this message, Daniel Buala has come up on air to clear the air and explain why he actually sent that message, the reason why he sent the message, and who his loyalty lies with, and his relationship with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, and then Kashim Shettima and other APC chieftains. Without wasting much of your time, let me allow you to watch the brief interview. This is a cut away from that particular interview, where you will understand what Daniel Buala had to say over the viral message.
First of all, I'm not surprised that it will generate mixed reaction, because we are living in a free world and people have every right to express themselves. And the politics in Nigeria in 2023 was polarized. You have three major candidates coming from three ethnic colorations or ethnic background. And so either way, somebody will have something to say for or against you. I remember when I was in APC, I was attacked by members of PDP. When I came to PDP, APC people attacked me. Labour attacked me because they thought I was going to go to Labour, and I went to PDP. So there would always be that, and we have to appreciate that. It's expression of freedom of thoughts. However, it is strange for me that some key people from both sides of the divide, whom with the greatest respect I told should be above board, could descend to the point where they try to question my loyalty. First of all, my loyalty to Atiku Abubakar is 100%, and everybody knows it on all counts. Secondly, my engagement in favor of Atiku Abubakar is way above every other person, including in PDP. And you all need to look at history and look at my Twitter engagement every single day. Thirdly, the case that we have in court against APC and Bola Tinubu is the case that I believe will turn out in our favor. The same way I believed that they were going to give live coverage, they never did. The court didn't. I believed that the double nomination was going to disqualify them. The Supreme Court did not. I still believe in the tribunal will prove our case. But one fact is clear. There will be 6 months minimum and 8 months maximum when this case will finally be determined. And within this period, somebody by our law has occupied the seat as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As patriots, we owe the nation the duty to preserve the Constitution and respect constituted authority. However, our respect for constituted authority does not in any way negative our opinion about our partisanship. So for the records, my congratulating Bola Tinubu and Shetima is not congratulation that is hinged on a winning election, because we maintain the position we're in court to prove it, that this election was stolen and it was a conspiracy between the government then, the institutions of the state, and APC as a party. And this is a fact, in my view, that majority of Nigerian people hold till tomorrow morning. Even if the Supreme Court, as I'm just flying to the 8th month, even if the Supreme Court at the end of the day says that we have not proved our case, it will still not change the opinion that I have that the election was stolen, and it does not reflect the wishes of the Nigerian people. Now, a number of people in PDP didn't like the fact that I came, and immediately Atiku made me a spokesman. There were 1 or 2 infighting here and there, but my focus, like I said, has been on Atiku. So I wasn't unmindful. Even some have even contacted members of the press at the early stage to even begin to write certain publications to suggest that there is nothing I will say that people will believe because I had been with APC. Now the elections are over. The role I have played is clear to the blind and deaf and dumb. Now, I also noticed one thing. When I was in APC, maybe because it's a governing party, there seems to be a unison in the way they go about things. When I came to PDP, it was at a time when Atiku won the ticket, and some section of the members of the party didn't like the idea that Atiku won the ticket. Of course, everybody knows the role that Wike played. A lot of people who benefit from Wike financially or in any respect maintain an activism in the party against Atiku. And because I would always speak for Atiku, they always antagonize me. If you look at some of the platforms of our party and see those people who are holding this resentment, they are those set of people.
All right, Daniel Buala actually had to clear the air there to really clarify members of the PDP and the APC where he stands, because right now his loyalty is being doubted. Okay, now this message to Asiwaju, as per Daniel Buala, cannot be linked to any sort of sentiments according to him. All right, now the truth remains that there is no diversion of favor, or there is no undivided or undoubted loyalty, because his loyalty remains, according to him, with his principal Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the PDP in the just concluded general elections. That is that on that update. First, I will give you a sort of brief overview of the occurrences that took place today in court about today's tribunal sitting at the Court of Appeal. Today, the Labour Party and its members, including the presidential candidate of that party, Peter Obi, and Datti Baba Ahmed, his vice presidential candidate, were all present alongside Julius Abure and other party chieftains. Now, Labour Party stormed the court with evidences of documents and forms as to indict INEC and the All Progressive Congress. Now, the Labour Party held that they will be challenging the results of the February 25th election in only 18 states. Now, according to the council standing in for the Labour Party in today's sitting and proceedings, Emeka Okpoko, counsel to Obi and Labour Party, spoke while tendering the documents at the resumed hearing of the joint petition filed by the party before the Presidential Elections Petitions Court on Thursday. So with that, I really feel that the proceedings today we are adjourned to tomorrow, which is the second day of June 2023, as a result of the Labour Party and its council being unable to really arrange and fix documents as regards the provisions and requirements of the law in the judicial system. So the head of the tribunal, Justice Haruna Tsamani Simon, actually asked the council to the Labour Party to please go home, rearrange these documents, and then appear tomorrow before the court, as the court cannot be seen as a marketplace. That was where the proceedings today in court ended. This particular update was brought up to us by the official Twitter handle of Kenneth Okonkwo, who is also an esquire, a barrister, and a member of the OB30 Presidential Campaign Council. Finally, talks between the federal government and organized labor, talking about the Nigerian Labour Congress, we are at a sort of undecisive, over the removal of fuel subsidy, ended in a deadlock as they failed to reach a consensus following the hike in petrol pump price to over 511 naira from 111 naira per litre. Now the hours-long meeting, which was held at the presidential villa, was among other things to prevent the labour crisis following the recent increase in the petroleum pump price, occasioned by the discontinuance of petroleum subsidy. Now, Joe Ajaero, who is the present Nigerian Labour Congress chairman, reiterated that you can't negotiate with a man at gunpoint, according to him, as that was what they thought the federal government insinuated by not coming to agreement with their prayers and demand. Without wasting much of your time, let me give you a clip of what Joe Ajaero had to say immediately after the deadlocked meeting with the federal government. Of course, the incoming government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima. Watch it.
What was communicated to you as the outcome of the meeting? As far as Labour is concerned, we didn't have a consensus in this meeting. Is that okay?
Are you still going to stand on the fact that they should actually go back to status quo? That's the principle of negotiation. You don't put the partner, ask him to negotiate under gunpoint.
What are the prayers of the NLC?
The prayers of NLC is that we go back to status quo, negotiate, think of alternatives and all the effects and how to manage the effects this action is going to have on the people. If it is an action that must take off.
Does it mean restoration of subsidy?
Well, the subsidy provision has been made up to the end of June. And before then, conscious people, labor, management, government should be able to think of what will happen at the end of June. You don't start it before the time.
But the NNPC the original deadline no subsidy.
So why did they make provision up to end of June?
No, the original
Who's lying?
Was February 17th.
So why is it up to now?
That was at the discretion of the last administration.
Fine. The last administration made it up to end of June. Why can't we respect the sanctity of even that law that provided for that expenditure up to the end of June?
Okay, but is the NLC considerate with the federal government when they say that there's no fund, they can't fund all of this, they can't raise money to fund the subsidy?
What is the purpose of governance? What's the purpose of governance? Is it the duty of NLC to raise funds for the government, to collect tax, to sell crude at the international market when the price of crude is going high? And the government that is a major exporter of a crude product is telling him there's no money. Other countries that are in the same scenario are eating fat.
Mr. President, do you think it's realistic to continue payment of subsidy?
Why do you keep on hammering on subsidy? What do you understand by subsidy? Has anybody explained to you the meaning of subsidy? What did they say is subsidy? Is there any country, even in the US, there's subsidy on wheat products? Is there any country that does not subsidize living of people, even if it's by providing public transportation? Well, those are issues we are looking at. If you're a major, producer of crude, and you refine abroad, you carry the crude abroad, and refine and bring it, definitely there will be difference in the price. And that's what they are paying. If your fathers establish a refinery and that refinery dies in your hands and you are now refining abroad, you ask yourself some questions. We have refineries, Kaduna, Warri, Sapele, Port Harcourt. Why are they not functioning? That we have to go and refine abroad. The transportation money, the refining cost at international price or rate, and we bring it back here. And the same government pays the difference in cost of what it is here and what it's internationally. That's the subsidy they are telling you about.
But what happens if the government says they cannot do that?
You are still talking in the sense of in the state of dictatorship. What will happen if this is said? It's not all about conversation. It's not democratic way. You know, if you say this thing is happening this way and you are engaged in discussion, you know, if what happens there is take it or leave it, which you know doesn't have any space in the current dispensation. You know, it's all about the people. The people matter. You know, if they say, you know, this is the project you are bringing, you are removing subsidy, you have been spending money for this difference. Remember 2011, we were here, this compound, and we agree on some principles, repair or refineries, you know, to start operation latest by December last year. They were not done. We agreed on issue of CNG. You know, the CNG product is eco-friendly and is cheaper than the PMS they're selling now. And some people say they can convert within 3 months. If we have done all these things, what will you be calling subsidy? The Dangote refinery is there to be producing. If any of these refineries are producing, we won't have all this challenge.
Yes, if you listen to the president during the inauguration at Eagle Square, he said that one of the hallmark of this administration is going to be dialogue, is going to be consultation, and that that this will be the hallmark, that they are not going to lord it over us, trying to paraphrase what he said, and not to be a dictator. So if you read it, it is clearly written there. And what has happened in terms of, as at today, has not shown what was written in his address. So all we've said before now was that, just as alluded to by my colleague as well, was that we ought to have sat down and have this conversation. At times, it's difficult, before anything could have happened. We have been open to conversations. We started it in 2021, and somewhat part of 2022. But at the end of the day, they told us that they were not removing subsidy. So,
all right, if you're just joining us, this is still Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. I laugh because I feel that a sort of meeting like that in a country which is an exporting or an oil exporting country, such excuses given by the government shouldn't actually suffice, because in a country that exports petroleum, you shouldn't be seen taking your petroleum gas and oil and gas and crude oil outside the country for refining and then bringing it back to sell at a different price to citizens of this country. Reasons being that Nigeria should be seen as, of course, having much more funds than hinging its particular economy on subsidy alone. So, because subsidy has been allowed to last till the end of June, Asiwaju, the incoming president, should really temper justice with mercy and not act like a dictator and actually remove unprecedentedly the fuel subsidy that Nigerians feel has been a form of stable a form of stable life to Nigerians, or a sort of stable welfare for Nigerians alike. All right. So my take on this is this: the government should come in consonance with the Labour Party, the Nigerian Labour Congress, and then speak of how to really come in agreement and bring back the subsidy for a meantime, at least from now to the end of June, because money and fee have been paid for the petroleum to be subsidized in this part of the month and this part of the year. So in order not to be held accountable for such huge amount of money, please, the government should do the needful and bring back the subsidy for now, so Nigerians can prepare for this alleged deregulation and subsidy removal over time. Thanks for being with us over time. Make sure you like our videos. Make sure you comment if you feel anything different from what we're doing here. Then if you're an incoming subscriber, don't forget to tap the subscribe button. If you're not already an existing subscriber, then tap the notification bell so you could get updates from us anytime to drop new video. Thanks to you and see you next time. Bye.